season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Now Tua Tagovailoa gets set to lead this Dolphins offense for the first time.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Tua now on first down. He gets this complete to Shaheen, the tight end.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Looking to pass. Tua. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
And he's taken down here by the Saints.
Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down.
Deontay Harris deep for New Orleans.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
First drive coming up here for this New Orleans Saints offense, and leading him out at quarterback here in 2021 in his 7th NFL season, it's Jameis Winston.
So this is where we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball, run it inside, everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot at it and try to create some space.
Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
2nd and 6.
And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that they have to pump the ball. They've done so with that first run.
And they'll bring him down right around the 13.
The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 17 carries, 72 yards.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we had a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Winston to give. It's Kamara.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. Jameis to throw it. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. After the turnover, it's Tua. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 53 yards, and a touchdown.
And he now has 8 touchdowns on the season, and I just know this. He's going to be so eager to run routes in this one and try and get to the end.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Marcus Davenport has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, it still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. First carry for Raheem Mostert. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. Definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10. Over the middle here to Wilson. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. They call it a loss of a yard there. And it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the turn.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either way. Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And we will not see a run back here from Harris. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And for them right now, not a done deal. They are holding down one of the final 3 wild card spots with 2 weeks to go. But, you know, there are others, Charles, kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And, Brandon, it's always worth keeping in mind, and I have to keep writing it down for myself. Remember, it's 7 teams in each conference now making the playoffs. So that brings more important games to the end of the season. So, in theory, more teams alive for a postseason berth later in the year.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hill. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Well, for Alvin Kamara, that speed-size combo, just about exactly what you want for a running back, and he uses that size, that strength to bust through a would-be tackler there.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy's made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. A give to Kamara running right. There's a nice move, and he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Play action now, Winston. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Off the play fake, Winston. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A big play that time through the air.
30 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. They'll run it with Kamara. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession. The Miami defense trying to keep them out. They haven't let them in yet. Can they hold again here on 3rd and goal? And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I get the thought process. 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way. But that means you're counting on your offensive line to win a line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, and there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. Here we go with Kamara. And he's not going to get there. They tackle him at the 2. Kamara on 4th and goal, unable to get in. And the Dolphins celebrate their goal line stand. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in, but I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
So a little more space to work with here from the 13 on 1st and 10. Tua going to throw. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Good hands there defensively. That's 2nd down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And we often talk about hang time for punts, but in this case, we should probably calculate the hang time on that throw because that one hung up there for a long time and managed to keep going and going until it found its target.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he stopped immediately there. Taken down by Pete Werner. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Open man is here. He's got it. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else. And now it's 3rd and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And a completion to Wilson. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. The kick by Sanders is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Here comes Deontay Harris from his end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. Winston on 3rd and 2. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Winston. There again is Thomas. They've gone to him a lot. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. Now a toss. Kamara left side. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Right now in the 2nd quarter on the defensive side, they got to feel pretty good about what they're doing.
They should embrace the feeling they have now, embrace the way that they're playing, and continue that through the half. I know defensive coordinators, sometimes they overthink it, start wondering how they're going to be attacked. Just keep doing what you're doing because it's working.
The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Working out of the gun, Winston. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's been the forgotten man in this 1st half, not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a 1st down.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this 1st half of action.
Let's go, fellas.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action.
Meanwhile, Winston throw complete there to Thomas.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
Jameis now on 1st down.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked up by Xavier Howard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Here's Tua. Tua, and the ball is out. And this is picked up by the Saints. And that will set them up in excellent shape. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. And following the turnover, they'll look to take the lead here as they start with a 1st and goal.
Winston now after the fumble recovery. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. The sack sets him back a full 10 yards there on 1st and goal.
The 1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 2nd down and goal. Winston looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Thomas. Now we get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. And Lutz's kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Taken at the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's only had a couple of carries. I mean, when you've got a horse like this, 2nd quarter, got to start to ride that horse a little more, don't you?
You can't just neglect him. He's got to touch it, and often, in order to get maximum out of him. Typically, these types of backs, it's the accumulation of carries, and that's when you see the damage as the game goes on.
Yeah, let's see. They're going to try to get him into the flow, we would assume here. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. On 1st down, Tagovailoa. Over the middle, complete. It's Hill. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
From the 47, it's 2nd and 5.
From the gun, it's Tua. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Wilson. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Brings up 3rd and inches. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. David Onyemata in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports halftime report. Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Saints set to go here to begin the third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Melvin Ingram in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19.
Another try after the first down sack. Winston. And it's caught. The tight end Hill. And right around the 20, he'll head out of bounds. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. Throwing. Winston.
And there's the former Dolphin, Jarvis Landry. And he is going to have a Saints first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on third down and 5.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
First down, Winston. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
To the air again with Winston. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. On third down, Winston. And they'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big connection on that one. 31 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. A give. This is Kamara. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2.
They run it again with Kamara. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
52 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On second down, Kamara. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
He's brought down at the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 3.
Jameis to throw it. And that is incomplete. So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will tie things up at 6-6. So they come away from this opening drive in the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
This fielded right at the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half.
And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a 3-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Looking to pass. Tua.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line. It's a sack. David Onyemata has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Back near his goal line, here's Tua. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Thomas Morstead now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Harris to return. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10.
The New Orleans offense set to take over.
Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. On play action, Winston. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26. A big-time play there for New Orleans.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Winston. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, this offense has already been forced to settle for field goals on their drives earlier, so this is not a welcome sign here.
Indeed, it is not, and they certainly hope it's not a sign for the entire game because they know they've got to be able to sustain drives all the way through. Pick up those guys rushing the quarterback and give himself a chance.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Another try after the 1st down sack. Winston. Throw left side complete. That's Hill. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I like the thought process. I like the design, but I think he may have waited a little too long to spot his man because if you're going to run that drag route, you've got to put it on him and let him turn upfield. Instead, he waits until his receiver's too close to the sideline, and they don't get the yards after the catch.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he does not get to the first down marker as they stop him at the 19. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
A 36-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good. And they take the lead here as it's now 9-6.
So his second field goal here in this third quarter.
The first one tied the game, and this one gets him the lead, but you just have to wonder if field goals are going to be enough. At some point, they've got to conclude these drives with the ball in the end zone.
Benagany going to take it out of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Miami set to take over.
And, Charles, we've seen almost 3 full quarters now, and neither offense can really get it going. Neither has hit the end zone, and neither side seemingly can make that big play.
But the game hasn't been devoid of action because these two defenses, they've taken over and they've slugged it out. But I think you're exactly right. We're at that stage of the game now where one of these offenses, if they make a big play, that could be the difference.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Tua sets up to pass it. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on the punt for Miami. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And that will come the offense as they take over. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. A first down throw for Winston. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Winston. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The busy night continues for Kamara. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Winston. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. The Saints on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 64 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
On the ground, Kamara. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. To throw, Winston. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Melvin Ingram. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Here's what having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long.
3rd and long for Winston. And he fires one, but incomplete. Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC.
And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed. But as we know it often happens, this is all still subject to change.
Oh, you're so right about that. But even though the math isn't there yet, I think it's going to take new math for them not to make the playoffs. They're almost certainly going to be in the tournament and certainly going to be a dangerous team if you have to play against them.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Tua.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by the rookie Pete Werner.
And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
The CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They're still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Now Winston. He is going to find Hill here. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
And that pickup of the first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
74 yards rushing for him now to this point. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line.
Kamara gets it again on second down.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. And it's caught. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. It's first and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Kamara trying again. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Lutz with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Taking it about the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So Tua and the Dolphins down by 10. Just over a minute 40 to play. And their 4-game winning streak in great danger. Tagovailoa.
Wilson snags it left side.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Tua to throw. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll make it second down.
Here's Tua.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big play there for the Dolphins.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, first and 10.
Tua. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens in bounds.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Now Tua.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
So many times we end the game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And they take a knee.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the